their cords. However, here they feared being captivated again and did not want to leave her side, but he spoke to them and told them to leave, and obeying his words left full of joy. And Jesus said again, I am the true bread and the living vine. Your fathers ate the manna in the wilderness, and they died. This is the food of God which comes down from heaven, that a man may eat and not die. I am the living food down from heaven. Whoever eats this bread will live forever, and the bread that I will give is my truth, and wine that I will give is my life. Jews disputed among themselves, saying, How can you be our food? Jesus said to them, Do you think I am talking about eating meat as you do in ignorance in the temple of God? Verily, my body is divine substance, and this is the real food, and my blood is the life of God, and this is the true drink, not like their ancestors, who demanded flesh. And God in his wrath gave them meat, and they ate it in their depravity until it stank in their nostrils. They fell thousands because of the plague, and their corpses they lay in the desert. For about this is written, They will walk for 49 years in the wilderness until they are purified from their lusts before entering the land of rest. Yes, 7 times 7 years shall walk, because they have not known my ways, nor fulfilled my commandments. And it happened that, being seated with his disciples for dinner, one of them said to him, Teacher, why did you say you want to give us your flesh to eat and your blood to drink? Because it is very difficult to understand for many. And Jesus answered and said, The words that I have spoken to you are spirit and life. To the ignorant and which is oriented to the flesh you sound like bloodshed and death, but blessed are those who understand them. Look at the grain, how it grows to maturity and is mowed and ground in the mill, and baked fire becomes bread. This bread is made my body, which you see. And behold the grapes growing on the vine until maturity, which are collected and go to the press and give away the fruit of the vine. Of this fruit of the vine and of water is my blood made. Well, I only take the fruits of the trees and the seeds of plants, and these are transformed by the Spirit into my flesh and my blood. Only this and similar things eat you who believe in me and are my disciples. Because of this, in the Spirit, men come to life, health, and healing. Like the cereal and grape becomes bread and blood, so are your thoughts must become spiritual thoughts. Strive for the transformation of the body in the spiritual. Truly, I say that in the beginning all God's creatures were living only of plants and fruits of the earth. Until the ignorance and selfishness of man moved away many of this and made them turn to what he contradicted the original order given by God. But they also returned to natural food, as it is written in the prophets, because his words should not be questioned. Jesus taught his disciples in the outer court of the temple, and one of them said, Master, the priests say that without the shedding of blood there is no forgiveness of sins. Can, then, blood sacrifices made according to law take away sins? And Jesus answered, Any blood sacrifice of animal or bird or man can take away sins. For how can remove a fault by the shedding of innocent blood? No, the blame will be bigger. The priests indeed receive such sacrifices of the faithful as atonement for the offenses against him, law of Moses, but for the sins against God's law there is no forgiveness, if not by repentance and amendment. It is not written in the prophets, Leave your blood sacrifices and your holocausts. Stop eating meat, then did not talk about it to your parents, nor I ordered when I brought them out of Egypt. Instead, this order, obey my voice and walk the paths that I have commanded you, and you will remain my people, and I will be fine. But they were not prepared and did not obey. And what the Lord commands you, but you practice justice and mercy and humbly with your God. Is not written that, in the beginning God determined the fruits of the trees, seeds and herbs for food of all flesh? But they have turned the house of prayer into a den of thieves, and instead of making a pure offering with incense, they have stained my altars with blood and eaten the meat of slaughtered animals. But I tell you, do not shed innocent blood nor eat flesh. Love mercy and do justice, and your days will endure long in the land you live. All true truth is in God, and I am witness to the truth. I am the true rock, and upon this rock I will build my community, and the gates of hell shall not subjugate. And this rock will flow rivers of living water to give life to the people of this earth. You are my chosen 12 about me, the head and cornerstone. For built on the rock the 12 pillars of my house. And you, in me, my community is built, and my community shall be established in the truth and justice. And you shall sit on 12 thrones, and shall send the light and truth to the 12 tribes of Israel through the Spirit. And I want to be with you until the end of the world. After you come men of perverse mind who, through ignorance or violence, repress many of the things that I have said, and I attribute words I have not spoken. So throwing weeds among the good wheat which I have given to this sow in the world, then the truth of God will have to endure being contradicted by sinners, as well has been and will be, but the time will come when everything they have hidden will be revealed and released, and the truth will set you free to all they were tied. Jesus went to Jerusalem and met a camel heavy burden